Food tastes better when it's shared. That is the philosophy of so many cooks all over the world. And it's one very much in line with Chef David Robertson's way of thinking. David has taught thousands of Canadians to cook at the Dirty Apron Cooking School, and Gather is his second cookbook. So great to have you back with us,
thanks.
David.
Good to be here again.
Number 2, here we go. So I'm sort of intrigued by the title. It's got to be tough when you're saying, what's this one going to be?
It is.
Why Gather?
So the first one was an introduction into who Dirty Apron was. And then Gather really came to mind when I thought, I've been in this industry for 25 years. I've always worked Christmases, Valentine's, New Year's. I'm always in the kitchen. I don't get to sit around and gather around that table and interact with family all the time and guests. And so in the last 5 years, that's what life has become, is just hanging out with friends, family, cooking good food together, whether it's at the park, picnics, barbecues, you name it, we're gathering around food.
I see. I was thinking it was more about gathering the food, but you're talking about gathering the people to enjoy the food.
Exactly, yeah. So that's an interesting twist. People can look at it both ways.
Well, it's interesting. In Spain, you know, they have something called sobremesa, which is the period of time after you eat. And it literally means on the table. And you can sit there for an hour or 2 hours post-meal and just, it's talk time. It's talk time at the table. So for you, how does that translate for someone who, again, has spent most of the time in the kitchen?
Yeah, family meals are a big thing. I've got a big family. We love getting together, and food is always the focus. It's there, it's front and center. The wine comes out, the food comes out. We put it out family style. A lot of the recipes are in the book are not for 1 or 2, but it's for like 8 or 10 or 12. Pile it up, put it in a bowl, serve it, everybody digs in. Don't be pretentious.
Oh, give me a couple of examples for that, because it's got to be tough to pare it down.
Yeah, I went salad heavy with this one, with some components, and I went larger roasts as well. I went how to do like a whole fish. I wanted people to not stress out for the 1, 2, but just make a lot, and don't be worried if there's leftovers for the next day. Just reheat them.
Who worries about that? That's called lunch.
That's called lunch.
I'd love to. Okay, what have you brought in here?
So this is one. I love doing things where you have it, and then 2 weeks later you still have it, and it's available for you. So this is sockeye salmon, and we cure the sockeye salmon, which is really easy for people to do at home. It's about 3 days to cure, but then you have it for 3 weeks after. Okay, it goes with everything. So what I have is the salt. I use the kosher salt, brown sugar, the coriander seeds, which I can just put in there.
Oh, I love that.
Star anise, which is, you know, a great sort of aromatics on that. We have the fennel seed, similar
I get
anise.
to smell everything.
Isn't that great? and then I grind all those up. And once those are all grinded up after Gloria, I would mix them with my salt and my sugar. Okay? Now, to start with this, if you want, why don't you start picking some dill and putting it on the sockeye? Underneath, I have the cure, which I'm going to put more on top. And this is something where I use the lemon zest here, because that's where all the natural oils are inside. And I'm not putting the direct acid on top of the salmon.
Oh, that's not a good idea. You don't want to squeeze lemon juice on there.
No, it just becomes too intense. I usually always just use the lemon for after when I'm cooking, just to finish it, just for like a little bit of essence of.
Oh, that's good to know. Would you do that if you're cooking the salmon as well?
I usually finish with it. Yeah, I never start at the beginning. Yeah. So this is good. Then I go over top with the rub, and we put that over the top. That's good, yeah. And if you want to switch up the herbs, like if you want to put basil, people can put basil. If people want a little bit of different flavor in here, like sometimes ginger could be nice in here. I try not to stay with really strong flavors. And what I'm doing here is I'm just covering the flesh. Okay, so at the restaurant, we would make a big batch of this and keep it in an airtight Tupperware container.
So how many would you do at once?
Like 8. Wow. 8 of them, yeah. And when people do it, it actually freezes really well. So I put the saran wrap over top, and then I really want to compress it, because now we're going to allow the salt to go to work here. And we put that in, and then we would line them all up, and we'd put them in our fridge with another pan over top and a slight weight.
I see. Okay, you want to make sure you're going to get all the air and all. So how would you serve something like that?
Okay, so this would say 3 days in the fridge. Okay. Then after, we rinse it off. Okay, we rinse off all the salt, which is what I have here. Okay, and you can smell that. You can really smell that anise, the lemon coming out, and everything comes together. And then this is fully cured. So we would call this a gravlax salmon. And then I take nice thin strips, and we serve this in our deli on our breakfast
You keep
biscuit.
cutting. I'm going to
okay?
find this page in your book while you're
Yeah.
chatting, okay?
And this would go on our breakfast biscuit. We actually serve it with an egg, a little bit of lemon mascarpone, and that just comes together. Oh, there we go.
Look at that in the cookbook here.
Yeah, that's it.
Gravlax and breakfast biscuits.
And then here's the biscuit, and that recipe's in the book too. And then we take that, and then people, if they want, they can just even have it as a little sort of canapé or something.
Look, did you see me reaching for it as you went? That is beautiful.
Right? And you can garnish it up, a little bit of radish or watercress on top of there. In the mascarpone here, Gloria, I have a little bit of lemon zest as well.
This smells amazing. So, congratulations on the second cookbook,
Yeah.
and on the success of Dirty Apron as well. I mean, how does it feel to be? You're not just a teacher anymore. Like, you've actually nurtured a lot of sort of young talent in this city.
You know what? Proud of the people that have come through the Dirty Apron. I always say never lead alone. It's always been a team effort. The team has helped put this book together. It's not just me, which makes it even more special at the end of the day.
I hope you're going to get more time to gather with your friends and family, David. Thank you for coming in, and thanks for this.
Yeah, enjoy. Thank you.